And we are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Horizen Weekly Insider number 114. Today is Monday, November 29 of 2021, almost the end of the year. Thanks for joining us live here on Discord and YouTube. And please be aware that we are recording this call, but it will also be available for you to check out later in our Horizen podcast. Also, please remember to ask your questions on Menti for the team so we can answer the top 3 at the end. Let's kick it off right away with our first update from the engineering department. I'll pass the word now to Alberto. Welcome, Alberto.
Thank you, Angie. And okay, as usual, let's start with Zendu. And in particular, I mentioned that we released a new version of the software, and we published an update which includes a fix to the wallet RPC comments that is mainly related to orphan transactions, and also a minor patch to the rescan functionality. I mean, for what regards the rescan functionality, this was a really super corner case where if a user message that was printed to the user every 60 seconds was happening exactly in the last block rescanned, then an issue in the printed line was causing the process to crash. So nothing very, let me say, specific to the implementation and to the functionality, but just the log line that was causing the crash, but was very, very unlikely to happen. And we saw that this issue was even there and inherited from the previous code base since 2017. Okay, but now it's fixed. So now the rescan functionality doesn't have, even in this unlucky case, this problem. The version of ZenD now is named 302, so please upgrade if you haven't done it already. And obviously, many thanks to the mining pool, Solo Pool, for sharing very useful feedback with us and helping us, let me say, finding the issue and telling us then that everything was solved. Okay, moving on to the proving system and related to the release that is coming after. We are continuing with the implementation of the refactoring of the gingerlib repository. And afterwards, we will carry out the benchmarks on the refactor code to evaluate the new performances. In addition to that, we have started working on the DLog accumulator Marlin to turn the circuit-friendly co-boundary Marlin into an accumulator snark for the DLogR parts. I mean, it sounds quite complicated, but this is what we are currently doing on that. And the design had already been carried out back in July, so the implementation of the primitives is already started, and which consists in changing the API to that of an accumulator snark and adding the aggregation round for the DLog accumulators. And last but not least, for what regards the SDK, we are completing the C session withdrawal for the new release of the SDK. So these were the main items. So probably all for today. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you so much, Alberto. Let's continue with Jonathan with the growth updates.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. So I wanted to quickly talk about something we haven't talked about in a while, which is how is the community hub doing? Is it still getting traffic? Is it still having an impact? Do people still love it? So I'm going to put a little screenshot here. This is just a screenshot from this past month. So what we're seeing is that since the beginning of January, we're actually up 50% increase in daily users on the community hub. I don't have the full numbers here, but we're talking about tens of thousands. And that's really cool. So when the number of daily users goes up, that's good. But the question is, do they continue to come back and do they continue to use the site? Do they go to other parts of the site or are they just coming and then never coming back? So what we see is an even greater increase in the number of users that come back, and that's basically called user retention. So I just posted another screenshot here. So what we're seeing again since the start of November is a 53% increase in long-term user retention. So our user retention was already good, and now it's 53% better than it was before. The trend is basically across the board. We're seeing user retention across 30 days. So users are coming back multiple times over 30 days. We're seeing retention across 7 days, which means users come back over the course of 7 days. And then also, usually 1 day retention doesn't change that much, but 30 and 70 days is a really, we're showing really great numbers. I think part of that is due to the price of Zen. But I think mostly the reason for this is all of the promotion and publicity around Zendoo. So really good results on the growth side. And that's it for me today. Thanks, Angie. Back to you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Now let's continue with Lucy for the marketing updates.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. So it's a big week for us. And we have a lot planned to celebrate the Zendoo mainnet launch. So on the highly anticipated December 1st launch date, so be sure to visit Horizen.io, see the new face of our website. So as our project is evolving and being elevated to the next level, so is our website. So make sure that you check it out. And also later today, Rob will be joining Scott Melker on his show, The Wolf of Wall Street, for a live AMA. The AMA will be live streamed on Scott's YouTube channel starting at 1:30 p.m. US Eastern Time. Rob and Scott will talk about Zendoo, Horizen, and the obvious Zendoo mainnet launch. There will be Zen and swag giveaways. The AMA is only 2 hours away from now, so make sure that you tune in and show some community support for Rob. Other than this AMA, Rob also has several other interviews and webinars scheduled this week and next week with different YouTubers and projects. We make sure that we keep him very, very busy. So please keep an eye on our social feeds for upcoming live streams and interview videos. And on the December the 3rd, there will be a Zendoo mainnet launch party organized and hosted by one of our project ambassadors, Michael from Australia. Several speaking guests will be joining the event, including Rob, Dean, Liat, and Toju from the Horizen and Horizen Labs team, and our partners like, excuse me, as CEO from GameStation, CEO from Celsius Network, and community ambassadors and ecosystem investors. And there will also be Zen and swag giveaways, as always. So it's going to be a fun event. Make sure that you mark your calendar and join us on December the 3rd at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And lastly, our swag store ran a Black Friday sale last Friday, and it was super popular. So if you missed the sale, that's okay, because we are running the Cyber Monday sale today with a 30% off discount store-wide. So it's really a good time to do your Christmas shopping. That's it from me. Back to you, Angie.
Awesome. Sounds super exciting, Lucy. Now, next we have Rosario for product and engineering updates.
Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon. What a great day. Tomorrow, or very soon, in the next couple days, on December 1st, we will have the Zendoo hard fork activation. That's an incredible day for us. We spent a lot of time talking about why this is such a big deal last week, but I wanted to remind, in case we have new listeners, that Zendoo is really the launching point of Horizen as a platform, building multiple and parallel independent blockchains using our security of the proving system that Alberto speaks about, and just such an incredible time for us as a project. And with that being said, so Zendoo is really the catalyst and something that we have been working with different proof of concepts with the ZK audit with our partner Celsius, and the game chain with a different gaming partner, and other side chains that we have been working on to demonstrate use cases, refine the SDK as we have it. So those are still going on in parallel and doing very, very well. So what is it that we're focusing on? So as we approach the last month of the year, we've been prepping a roadmap for 2020 since June, actually. So we've been working and refining on that roadmap. So over the next few weeks, we will finalize that roadmap. We are in process of identifying hiring needs for 2022, budgets, and all the necessary components. So the big push for us is going to be the compatibility with other ecosystems. And Rob had mentioned launching an EVM chain on our ecosystem. And we are going to have a parallel push. So we're going to bring new developers into our ecosystem and also work our long-term play, which is a fully decentralized blockchain ecosystem that we are working with Lattice. So I will be posting here just a little bit of a FOMO of the website that we've been working with our Celsius partner. So you can see the progression of ZK audit and the finalization of the proof of concept that we have with them. And we will be expanding on that in the following years. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Rosario. Now let's welcome Rob for the leadership updates and the Q&A session.
I'm sorry, did someone just post a popular question on Menti about Dean being so good looking? Or am I reading this wrong? And that's, I don't know, maybe I'll let someone else answer that question later on during the Q&A. Okay, well, let's see. Zendoo going live this week. I mean, that is the biggest thing that we've had going on for years, and obviously the biggest thing we have going on this week. So quick reminder of what this means. I mean, Rosario just recapped there, and we've been talking about this basically every single week for a while. But this is that big pivot point for us as an ecosystem, really where we open it up and we go beyond just being a cryptocurrency-based blockchain or blockchain that supports a cryptocurrency. Now we are a blockchain of blockchain's ecosystem that can do basically anything that any other cryptocurrency or blockchain ecosystem can do. Everything from the DeFi stuff to the NFT stuff to stablecoins to you name it. Anything that's hot in crypto, maybe I should say we will be able to do. So this protocol opens up the possibility of having many other networked blockchains or blockchains that are deployed in our ecosystem. They're networked, and networked in specifically what I mean here, Zen can go back and forth. And ultimately, we will have other types of interoperability and compatibility across the ecosystem. But this is huge, and it's huge because now we are no longer just, call it cryptocurrency, right? A coin that's out there with really a single use case. And some other ambitious use cases we originally thought we might want to do on this kind of Bitcoin-like blockchain. Now, we have one of the most sophisticated blockchain protocols on the market, or we will on December 1st. It's out there now. It'll be activated on December 1st. All right, so huge congratulations to the team, to the community for sticking with us all this time. And really, specifically, what I want to say is, so Alberto and the team, the engineering team in particular, who've been working like dogs this entire time, deserve a lot of credit. They deserve a lot of credit, not just for the ingenuity of building something totally unique, but actually working nonstop to make this a reality. Coming up with something that is different and unique and innovative is one thing. To have a great idea, it is something completely different to be able to execute that idea and bring it into reality. And that's what they've done. All right, so this is something that we should all celebrate and be extremely proud of. I'm probably going to botch this, but I do want to give some specific mentions here to that team and all of the main chain work that has gone on here from Alsala, one of our key NTT partners, Alexander, Paolo T, Chronic Luigi on the testing and deployment side, always absolutely critical to any type of deployment, and they're with the team nonstop. Zine, Marco, Eurico, Rodrigo, Luis on the tool side, making all of the supporting stuff to make this a successful launch. Luca and Julia, Angie on the PM team. Rosario, obviously managing the PM team and product and making sure that everyone actually does their jobs to make this, and we make sure we don't miss big gaps. and really the entire team in general for making this delivery possible. It goes beyond the technology. We have an entire team out there that is coordinating with mining pools, node operators, exchanges to get support for this important software upgrade. And really the way we work is one holistic team, right? And the team has done a phenomenal job. And I stand by my statements all along that we have one of the best teams in crypto. And now getting one of the most innovative protocols out to market is just testament to that fact. Software releases can seem routine, but this one is anything but routine. Like I said, the team has worked like dogs. And I just want to say, even just an example, I woke up Saturday morning to Luca sending a picture of pizza that he bought for the team in the Milan office, because they ended up working throughout the weekend to make sure that this launch is successful and we have the latest release out there. This type of dedication is not normal, and we're really fortunate to have this kind of team and these kinds of people on our side. All right, so just huge, congratulations, thank you, applause to the team that has really executed to make this happen. Now, what I will say from a strategic perspective, this was our main focal point, and this was our main focal point over the last few years when we had no resources. Like we were just the limited resources that we had weren't enough to even support the team that we had, and we went through a lot of stressful times, and the community has stuck with us through these stressful times. It was brutal. Now, this last year has been a really exciting one for crypto, but this has not been our experience over the entire course of this project's history. And the fact that we have people that have stuck with us, from team members, absolutely critical team members, to leaders in the organization, to the community is absolutely fantastic. And personally, I'm just very humbled by it. Specifically, this is our biggest software release, absolutely huge, and it is our true core innovation and contribution to this industry. It encompasses hundreds of thousands of lines of code across thousands of software files. We've mentioned the magnitude of this in the past, and it's taken us a few years to do. Ultimately, what it gives us, though, is we replace centralized certifiers with snarks so that we can finally have a totally decentralized sidechain ecosystem. What this means is that we can have thousands, and our estimates look like up to 10,000 blockchains that are part of our ecosystem, sidechains to the Horizen main blockchain, that work with Zen. They work with Zen from staking to transaction gas. They allow us the ability to have flexible blockchain development happen in a way that is truly scalable. Scalable from the transaction throughput, but also scalable from just functionality. Rather than having to choose a specific architecture that has implications for specific type of development, like what if we had just gone with an EVM chain as our core blockchain is just an EVM upgrade, or had we just chosen some other architectural path that did not afford us this massive flexibility, we would lose out on the optionality of what could be built in this ecosystem. Now, next comes the SDKs to make this protocol actually useful. We're going to be releasing in short order, so there's an SDK being released with Zendu, but the really powerful ones, the ones that I think are going to have tremendous adoption, are going to be Blaze, we talked about, the super fast SDK that has transaction throughput we estimate to be about 1,000 transactions per second. Lattice, the totally decentralized one that uses snarks and recursion to keep the chain footprint succinct. And now our recent prioritization of an EVM capability here. So we have a lot going on, and you're going to see a subsequent set of releases that are going to have big impact to the ecosystem. Now, like I said, it's taken us a few years with limited resources to get to this point where we are. Our capacity as an organization, our capacity as an ecosystem has never been this large, right? And you're just seeing some of this being delivered. And the pace of the other projects that we're doing is just accelerating. So a lot more is going to happen here. I don't want to spill the beans of everything that's going on, but I do have a few things that I will mention, because yes, this Zendu release is absolutely huge and there's a lot going on around that, but there's a lot more going on in our ecosystem as well. It's just going to be flooding and kind of cascading forward as we get this innovative capability to market. So as just an example, I spent this last week in a Latin American country giving a few talks, one of them an official invite by the government of that country. And I have to say, there was a lot of FOMO in the country. So the country, I can say, is paying very close attention to what El Salvador is doing. And not that they want to go and just mimic what El Salvador is doing, because that they want to take their own path. Now, they realize that what El Salvador is doing is signaling that this technology and what's going on in crypto is important. There's something really important going on here. So they're interested. And across the board, I met with several government agencies interested in transparency via blockchain. I met with several banks interested in this tech, where my message was simple. The message was, dive in now or become irrelevant tomorrow. And I sensed a healthy dose of FOMO that I was really excited to see, not just from a business perspective, but it's really nice from this revolution of an industry that we are working on here together is getting real traction, right? People are noticing. We're carving out a university partnership in this country, a major university there, who's also interested in helping out with ecosystem governance on our side. They want to be part of that, which I think is fantastic. And they're also they want to work on some use cases for how crypto can be useful to normal people in this country and in the broader developing world. So there's a lot going on there. Met with a big development shop there, a huge software company that has a lot of software engineers that wants to partner with us. Met with a private equity group that wants to work with us across a number of projects. One of them I thought was kind of fun was working with the biggest gym franchise, like gymnasium, like a workout gym franchise in the country. Met with the most successful, and I would say personally, I find most interesting tech startup in the country that provides electricity, power, internet services, and basic like electricity to have light bulbs and refrigerator operating in remote parts of the developing world. Really excited about that one. And overall, I have to say this is just a super positive trip, and want to give a big thanks to Christian for organizing it, Angie and Rohan for being there and supporting with all the important stuff that was ongoing. Let's see. Also, there's an absolutely huge, I'll just say metaverse partner that we're in final stages of signing right now. I really don't want that handsome guy Dean to be mad at me for spilling too many more beans on this one, but this is one that I could see it's going to happen. We met last night on Sunday night to work through some of the final parts of the engagement so that we can do a joint announcement around Art Basel in Miami this coming week. So there will be imminently more news on this one, but it is probably going to be, if not I would say for sure, one of the most interesting and important use cases being built natively in the Horizen ecosystem. So I'm really pumped for this one. And let's see. So my prediction is this project will be one of the hottest ones in 2022. And they've chosen to build in the Horizen ecosystem. This is huge from, there's a bunch of buzzwords like metaverse, NFT marketplace, tons of NFTs being issued and traded in this environment. Multiple token launches will happen, stablecoin will happen. So basically it's that full package of what we're looking for in a single partner. And this is one that I'm extremely pumped that we're going to be a part of. And the team behind it, I could not be more impressed with. These guys have tremendous experience building and launching and running some of the biggest and most important video games in history, and now they're going to be working with us. So just one other example of some of the big things that are coming here. And final note, with everything that's going on, I'm realizing more acutely every single day how capacity constrained we are. And despite hiring as fast as we can and responsibly as we can, maybe the responsibility constraint does slow us down at times, but the fact that we're able to do as much as we can now is because we've focused specific attention to quality of the people that we bring onto the team. And we are extremely selective, and I'm extremely proud to be working with this team that we have. But the more we do, the more we realize we have to do. The more we hire, the more we realize we need to hire. Right? And things are just going to get a lot more fun in 2022. Final note, I'm super pumped to be talking to Scott on Wolf of All Streets coming up in about a couple of hours from now. It'll be a fun conversation. I highly recommend anyone who can think about listening in. So, all right, guys, I'll stop here. We can open it up to Q&A, and we'll see what other kinds of crazy questions we had coming through.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob. And I just want to say that I have so much FOMO right now. So thank you for that. And thank you, everybody, for contributing with your questions as well in each and every week that we host the Weekly Insider. Let's see. So the first one is, can Horizen support the Avalanche consensus protocol, which uses random sampling?
Interesting. Alberto, do you want to tackle that one?
Oh, okay. Theoretically, I mean, we can integrate on the session side. Okay, let's start from the beginning. the consensus adopted on the sidechain side is completely decoupled from the main chain side. So theoretically, you can adopt any kind of consensus on the sidechain side, even the Avalanche one or others. Obviously, if you want to have a proof for the whole history, the consensus itself must be recursive, snark friendly, and more, I would say, even recursively snark friendly. But let me say, more in general, I would say that we can support any kind of consensus on the sidechain side.
Thank you, Alberto. The second question is, what is the transaction finality time on the main chain and sidechains?
You just keep on going there, Alberto.
I suspected. Okay, let's say that for the implementation that we have on the sidechain side that is using Ouroboros, and more in general, all the longest chain rule, blockchains, we cannot speak properly about finality. You have negligible probability after some blocks, given for example the hash rate, the hash power, and also given the amount of stake. You can calculate the probability after each block that this block that a certain block with a certain depth will be final, and final, right? With that probability, there is never, even for Bitcoin and so on, a zero probability of being final. Obviously, the more hash rate there is in a proof of work cryptocurrency, or in relation to the kind of proof of stake model you are using, and how much participation there is. Obviously, the level of finality increases block by block, faster and faster, given these parameters. So it really depends. So for this kind of blockchains, it's a little bit improper speaking about finality time, but you can speak about probability of not being reverted a block, and this is common to all the blockchains that are using this kind of approach. There are some analyses and some documents, for example, for sure there are for proof of work blockchain, so like for ours, but also for what regards to the sidechain side, as we are adopting Ouroboros Strauss, there are analyses that show the probability of finality of a block given certain parameters. So there are papers that are published, and in particular by OHK, that are showing the property of the Ouroboros Strauss consensus. And I think these are the good, a good source for getting the answers on the proper numbers.
Thank you. And the third and final question is Horizen Turing complete?
Alberto, I know you're dying to answer this one as well.
Let's say that on the sidechain side, you can extend logic as you wish. So we are not limited to a specific, virtual machine with specific rules and so on, but you can use, for example, our SDK is written in Scala and Java, so you can extend it as you want for developing the logic and the rules that are that applies to your specific use case. So you have the full freedom to do whatever you want. And obviously, if you want to prove also this kind of additional logic in the circuit, you can do it as well.
Awesome. So those were the top 3 questions. Thank you everyone for contributing with them. Please stay tuned of our notifications and posts in our official social media channels for everything that's coming up this week and later for the rest of the year. We wish you all a very good week, and we'll see you all at the next Weekly Insider. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye,
Have a
everyone.
great week.
Bye.